This is the Legendary Trangia stove, and it's been around since the 1920s from Sweden. It's known for its simplicity, its durability, and its reliability, and it's probably the most popular stove in the world. This is the Goshawk OP100 alcohol stove, and alternatively could be a budget-friendly competitor to the Trangia. It weighs half the weight of the Trangia. It costs the same. The storage capacity in it is the same as the Trangia, and you can also store fuel with the cap, just like the Trangia. So let's take a quick look at the Trangia. It's made from quality brass, which is corrosion proof. It has a simmer plate on top. The cap has a rubber seal so you can store fuel in it. The Trangia has 28 jet holes, and it can store up to 100 millilitres of fuel. So the Trangia weighs 111.4 grams. Without the simmer plate, it's 87.4 grams. So let's take a look at the Goshawk OP100. It's made of anodized aluminium, which is corrosion proof. The cap has a rubber ring around it so you can store fuel. It has 10 jet holes around the outside. And just like the Trangia, you can store up to 100 millilitres of fuel. The Goshawk weighs 66.3 grams. One thing that the OP100 has, it uses a swirling flame. So it uses a centripetal force. So centripetal force is when a swirling motion harnesses energy to the center of the object. So the flame does a swirling motion, harnesses the heat to the center of your pot. So in theory, this should heat water faster. Let's find out. So as always, the first test is going to be 30 millilitres of fuel in each of the stoves. Let's light them and let's see how long they last. Let's start the timer. So the Trangia stove bloomed first, and there you can see the centripetal flame of the Goshawk. So the Trangia is starting to fade. And that's the Trangia gone at 12 minutes and 20 seconds. Let's just check. Yeah, and that's the Goshawk gone at 15:48. So the next test will be how fast the stoves boil up 250 millilitres of water. What I'm going to do is I'll put 30 millilitres of fuel in each of the stoves. I will weigh the stoves with the fuel in it before I light it. And then after the water is boiled, I will weigh both stoves again just to see how much fuel is used and how much fuel one burns versus the other. Alright, let's do it. And the pot of choice is the Stanley. I mentioned earlier I'm going to do 250 millilitres of water, but what I'm going to do is 16 ounces of water, which is 473 millilitres. That equates to 2 8-ounce cups, so 2 cups of water. Let's get started with the Trangia. And that's a rolling boil at 8 minutes and 2 seconds. Now, let's cap that, leave it cool down, and I'll weigh it. The Trangia after boiling is 73.1 grams. Okay, now it's time for the Goshawk. Let's put the pot on, start the timer. And there we have a rolling boil at 7 minutes and 49 seconds. The Goshawk after boiling is 63.7 grams. So, there you have it. What do you think? Is the OP100 a budget-friendly alternative competitor to the Trangia? I absolutely think it is. So if you look at both stoves, right? Both stoves are the same price. They're both made from corrosive-free material, so you have brass and you have anodized aluminium. The Goshawk weighs nearly half the weight of the Trangia. Now, that is the Trangia with the simmer plate, but with the simmer plate, it weighs nearly half the weight of it. The storage capacity in the inside is 100 millilitres for both stoves. The cap that's on top has seals on it so you can actually store the fuel in it. The Goshawk beat the Trangia in a boil test for 16 ounces of water. The Goshawk beat the Trangia for how much fuel was left in the stove at the end. The Goshawk also beat the Trangia when it comes to fuel efficiency. The Goshawk lasted longer than the Trangia. So the one thing that is missing from the Goshawk is a simmer plate. It doesn't have the simmer plate function. So the final thoughts, I honestly think that Goshawk have made something very, very special here. There's not many stoves where you can say that it is a budget-friendly alternative to the Trangia. OP100 not just matched the Trangia, it beat the Trangia in every test. So it's brilliant to see products coming to the market that can match this legendary stove. I love my Trangia, I'll never be without it, but I also love the OP100. I think Goshawk have really done something good here. Is this something you'd buy? I'll leave the links in the description where you can get it, but I just love the engineering that Goshawk is bringing out. So, thanks very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think. We'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.